only gets to play 26 minutes. They're still trying to keep her on minutes restriction. They are pissed that she broke this record. They went and started all type of new racial conversations. Sandy Brondillo had to become a victim of a BS racist investigation, all because Caitlin Clark broke a record. And what happened in the game today? They kept her in punishment. They iced her out. Stephanie White iced Caitlin Clark out of this game, but the Indiana Fever still found a way to win by 20 points.
The absolute limits of professional locker room management were pushed to the breaking point at halftime tonight. Traditional administrative authority didn't just crack. It appeared to completely unravel behind the arena walls. While the scoreboard reflected an outstanding offensive performance, an unprecedented internal conflict was reportedly unfolding behind closed doors. A generational superstar, seemingly frustrated with the restrictions placed upon her, publicly confronted her own leadership in a dramatic display of emotion. As the teams emerged from the tunnel for the second half, everything seemed different. The franchise's biggest star was nowhere to be seen on the court. Instead, she remained on the bench as the coaching staff chose to keep her out of the game, sacrificing their own tactical advantages in what looked like an immediate disciplinary decision. This wasn't an ordinary strategic rotation. It appeared to be a desperate administrative response aimed at reasserting authority over a player who had openly challenged the established hierarchy. Meanwhile, the front office reportedly found itself in complete turmoil. Television executives were said to be scrambling to adjust their broadcast coverage as the image of team unity began to fall apart. The moment she stood up for herself at halftime, she didn't simply question a substitution. She challenged the franchise's long-standing chain of command and disrupted the traditional power structure. To understand the level of concern surrounding the situation, it's important to look at the coaching staff's increasingly strained narrative. For months, many established voices in the sports media had promoted a polished, corporate-friendly image designed to keep the rookie sensation fully aligned with the organization's expectations. The goal was for her to stay within the system, follow the approved script, and avoid creating controversy. Whenever she was removed during critical moments, those decisions were cons.
Clark show, I gotta give the people what they want, and I'm not coming out of this game. Caitlin Clark finally stepping up and standing up for herself against this sabotage coaching staff, against this sabotage organization, and refused to come out in the fourth quarter when she surpassed her minutes restriction. We got to get into it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things. So Caitlin Clark was slotted to come out at the 25-minute mark, and she refused. Okay, and it's comments like this that let you know that Iowa CC, that demon, that killer, is still in there. Okay, let's get to this quote real quick before we get to the footage of what she had to say. She said, "I know what I'm capable of, and I know what this team is capable of, and it's my job to help us win and be the best team in the WNBA, and I don't think we're there yet, so it's my responsibility to help us get there, so we'll keep working." Caitlin Clark understands fully that she is capable of going into GOAT mode, God mode, at any given moment. All she needs is Stephanie White to get the hell out the way and Kelsey Mitchell to play her role off ball and pass the ball.
According to the narrative, the organization's public relations shield completely collapsed under the spotlight of live television. The raw tension surrounding the locker room reportedly spilled into public view, leaving little room for the carefully managed image that had been presented for months. Members of the coaching staff appeared stunned and visibly uncomfortable as sections of the crowd began expressing their frustration. Their carefully constructed authority seemed to weaken as a player openly resisted what was portrayed as an overly restrictive leadership approach. The attempt to restore control through a public benching appeared to produce the opposite effect. Rather than reinforcing the coaching staff's authority, the decision intensified criticism and placed the organization under even greater public scrutiny. What was intended to demonstrate discipline instead raised broader questions about leadership, communication, and the team's internal dynamics. Viewed through this perspective, the situation extended far beyond a simple disagreement over playing time. It represented a direct challenge to an established organizational structure. When a superstar delivers an outstanding performance on the court while also expressing frustration with internal coaching decisions, the traditional balance between player influence and organizational authority naturally comes into question. It fuels debate over whether long-standing leadership models still fit the expectations of today's athletes. For years, many professional organizations have depended on players fully embracing the team structure and public messaging. This situation, however, has fueled discussion about whether that traditional approach is evolving, as star athletes increasingly use their voices to influence decisions that directly affect their careers and roles within the franchise.
Locked up and won't let me out. They still won't let CC out, man. Kennedy Carter, you said Becky Hammond had shackles on you. They got real handcuffs. Free Caitlin Clark. I had a feeling that after that 45-point, 10 assist, record-breaking, iconic moment, something that never happened in the league, I smelled something fishy. I knew something shady was about to happen. Caitlin Clark only gets to play 26 minutes. They're still trying to keep her on minutes restriction. They are pissed that she broke this record. They went and started all type of new racial conversations. Sandy Brondillo had to become a victim of a BS racist investigation, all because Caitlin Clark broke a record. And what happened in the game today? They kept her in punishment. They iced her out. Stephanie White iced Caitlin Clark out of this game, but the Indiana Fever still found a way to win by 20 points. I am disgusted with Stephanie White and how she benched Caitlin Clark at the end of every quarter. Ridiculous. We're going to get into all of it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the
The narrative portrays her as a generational talent whose impact extends far beyond the game itself, influencing the direction of the sport and its culture. According to this account, those responsible for maintaining the organization's image struggled to contain the fallout as the situation rapidly gained public attention. During the post-game press conferences, attempts to control the narrative reportedly fell flat, with carefully prepared talking points failing to address the growing questions surrounding the team's internal dynamics. The events in the locker room were described as the beginning of a much larger ripple effect across the sports world. By openly expressing her frustration at halftime and refusing to quietly accept the situation, she sent what many interpreted as a powerful message to those in positions of authority. Her actions symbolized a growing belief that elite athletes should have a stronger voice in decisions affecting their careers rather than simply following organizational expectations. The message, as the narrative frames it, was unmistakable. You do not own my talent. You cannot control my impact. And you will never force me to remain silent while decisions made behind the scenes threaten my career. Whether viewed as an act of defiance or a demand for accountability, the moment became a powerful statement about player empowerment, leadership, and the evolving relationship between superstar athletes and the organizations they represent.
To pull me up. She wasn't going for it. This is Caitlin Clark standing on business, giving them that look. I don't give a damn what the minute. They say 25 minutes up there on the Jumbotron. I dare you to sub me out. I'm gonna cuss all of y'all out on this sideline. Y'all thought I made news with the referee. Y'all thought I went off on the referee. Sub me out of this game because of a minutes restriction and see what I do to y'all on this sideline. We'll really make some headlines around this motherfucker.
Well, I told Steph at halftime, like, I felt really good and I didn't want to lose this game, and you know, hopefully I'm gonna do everything I can tonight to take care of my body, and then we get back out at it tomorrow. But like I said, like, I can trust all the work that I put in on my body, and I spent a ton of time on it, and I trust the people around me that have really helped me, and I always find confidence in that. So I know I'm doing all the right things, and there was no way I was ever coming out of the game in the fourth quarter. It didn't matter. I would play with one leg.
So she let Stephanie White know at halftime, I don't give a damn what that 25-minute restriction is. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not about to play this game with y'all. I am not playing this game with y'all at all. Don't you dare try to stop my minutes at 25. Don't you dare.
According to the narrative, the situation has now reached a critical point for the league's broadcast partners. As discussions continue to spread across digital platforms, reports suggest that corporate sponsors are closely monitoring the controversy behind the scenes. The concern, as presented, is that the coaching staff's disciplinary decision may have negatively affected live television viewership and the overall value of a high-profile broadcast. From this perspective, fans tune in primarily to watch elite athletes perform at the highest level, not to witness internal organizational conflicts or disciplinary disputes. Supporters want to see historic performances, competitive basketball, and the league's biggest stars on the court. When those expectations aren't met, frustration naturally grows among viewers and fuels even more public discussion. The narrative ultimately argues that the traditional balance of power is shifting. Rather than organizations solely controlling the conversation, superstar athletes now possess an unprecedented level of influence through their performances, public visibility, and the direct support of fans. Whether or not that interpretation proves accurate, the controversy has sparked a broader debate about leadership, player empowerment, and the changing relationship between athletes, teams, broadcasters, and sponsors.
Put in, and people believe in me, and more than anything, I believe in myself. And you just got to dig your feet in a little bit, and when it's not going your way, nobody cares. Like, find a way to make it better and find a way to help your team win and make this team better. And I feel like that's what I always try to do.
You're kind of scrambling a little bit as the shot clock's kind of falling down. They got a deflection, circled back towards half court and kind of went up. Can you take us through that? I think that was your 41st point to kind of go ahead that whole play.
Yeah, obviously we had the ball with the game tied, and they kind of blew up our ATO. Like, they played good defense and, got a good tip on the ball, and I was able to chase it down and then get the deflection, which I don't know if I got her on the arm or if it was clean, but I'm not sure the ref was in a position to make the call. I think it was pretty clean. I don't know, but just tried to make a good play on the ball. And then obviously coming back down, I was trying to get the ref to inbound it faster. Like, I wanted to play fast. I didn't want them to set their defense. And then obviously, I think that's almost an easier situation for myself, playing kind of in transition rather than having to diagram something on the sideline ATO-wise, where, I can just kind of little freestyle it a little bit more. And that's kind of what I did. And, she made a couple good plays on the ball, got a couple deflections, and I kind of got her out of.
According to the narrative, high-powered legal teams are already examining the terms of multi-million-dollar distribution agreements, searching for every possible avenue to reshape the balance of control between organizations and their star athletes. The discussion suggests that long-established management structures are facing increasing pressure as the influence of elite players continues to grow both on and off the court. For decades, the traditional model placed organizations at the center of the sport, expecting athletes to operate within clearly defined institutional boundaries. However, this perspective argues that recent events have challenged that assumption. The spotlight, it claims, follows the players who captivate audiences, generate engagement, and shape the cultural conversation surrounding the game. As a result, the narrative suggests that many executives and decision-makers are becoming increasingly concerned about their ability to maintain the same level of influence they once held. If fan interest is driven primarily by generational talent and star power, then the relationship between athletes and organizations may continue to evolve, with players gaining greater leverage in determining the direction of their careers and the future of the sport.
Just kept attacking, taking what the defense gave me. Like I said, I think, especially in the second quarter, I really got to the free throw line and really got them in the air, used my body well, and then you just make plays down the stretch, and you get free throw opportunities down the stretch, and those are the ones you have to make. And I still feel like I can play better. I think the thing I'm most proud of, I think all 4 of my turnovers were in the first half, so I really took care of the ball in the second half, and that was big for us. I think we had, I don't know how many turnovers we had at halftime, but we took care of it there and didn't give them extra possessions, so proud of that for myself. But it's one of the hardest things, coming back from injury and being out of the groove and having time off, and you just have to kind of continue to believe in yourself and believe in the work you put in. And like I said, this is great, but we have another really difficult test tomorrow, so you got to get ready for that.
KK, just over these past few games, seems like things have really been clicking and falling into place for you. What's been changing? What's been working for you here that allowed you to earn this start tonight?
Just putting the work in. Bless you, see. Bless you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Just putting the work in, just being consistent, having that confidence. My teammates and my coaches, they believe in me, so I also have to believe in myself. And, that just shows, I've been putting the work in, being a great player, being a good teammate overall, and just having that confidence,
According to the narrative, the battle lines have now been firmly drawn. The coaching staff may continue to rely on its traditional authority, and critics may keep offering their own interpretations on television, but the story argues that the dynamics surrounding the sport have fundamentally changed. From this perspective, the long-standing hierarchy is no longer as secure as it once appeared, and the influence of superstar athletes has reached an entirely new level. The narrative suggests there is little room left for quiet compromises behind closed doors. Instead, every major decision is immediately scrutinized by fans, media outlets, and social platforms, making it increasingly difficult for organizations to control the conversation. Whether that represents a permanent shift or simply a temporary controversy remains a matter of debate, but it has undoubtedly intensified discussions about leadership, accountability, and player empowerment throughout the sport. Supporters of this viewpoint believe that the traditional gatekeepers are losing their ability to shape the narrative on their own, while star players now have more influence than ever before. Others argue that strong organizational leadership remains essential for long-term success. Regardless of which side people take, The controversy has sparked widespread conversation about the evolving balance of power between athletes and team management. What do you think about the situation? Did the coaching staff make the right decision by keeping its star player on the bench, or did that move create even greater challenges for the organization? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the discussion.
Did nothing in the second half. Marina Johannes didn't score outside of the first quarter. Sabrina Ionescu, she was damn near a ghost out there. The most irrelevant 12 points, 4 assists I've ever seen. I'm not really sold on Sabrina. She's not all that to me. The Indiana Fever locked it down in the second half. I thought the Indiana Fever's bench was really good. Maisha Hines-Allen gave you some really good minutes off the bench. Michaela Timpson is getting better and better off the bench. She only had 2 points, but she had 5 rebounds. She played some good defense. She was solid off the bench. Sophie, the blonde bomber, was on fire again from the three-point line, 3 of 4 from 3. She came off the bench and gave you 11 points and 4 rebounds. Ty Harris had 11 points on 50% shooting with 4 assists off the bench. The Indiana Fever's bench outplayed the New York Liberty bench by a long shot. There was no Satu Sabali. I don't know what's going on with her. But yeah, the Indiana Fever's defense in the second half is what ultimately catapulted them and helped them close this thing out and secure a victory. But I feel like Caitlin Clark could have had another big game. But hey, 17-7, I'll take it, man. It's her first back-to-back in a couple years at this point. We'll take the win, man. Indiana Fever move up to 16-10. Indiana Fever playing some solid basketball right now. Playing some solid basketball. If we could just get Stephanie White and his front office out of Caitlin Clark's way, everything would be good. And I had a feeling that Stephanie White, after she saw that barrage that Caitlin Clark put on, she was going to try to go back to what she wanted. And what she wants is this stupid hub. She wants Aaliyah Boston being a hub. She wants to play through Kelsey Mitchell and all of this stuff. It's ridiculous. Caitlin Clark did receive her 6th technical foul. She's going to be on the verge of being suspended soon.
According to the narrative, the organization did everything it could to regain control of the situation, but the public response told a different story. The discussion argues that fan engagement, attendance, and the growing conversation across media platforms reflect a shift that can no longer be ignored. From this perspective, many believe that traditional sports coverage has struggled to keep pace with changing fan expectations and the increasing influence of superstar athletes. As the debate continues, one thing is clear: this controversy has captured the attention of basketball fans everywhere. Whether you agree with the coaching staff's decisions or believe the player was unfairly treated, the discussion surrounding leadership, accountability, and player empowerment is far from over. Now it's your turn. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the organization handled the situation correctly? Or do you believe this controversy exposed deeper issues within the team's leadership? We'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest basketball updates, breaking news, and in-depth analysis. Be sure to share this video with fellow basketball fans who want to stay informed about the biggest stories shaping the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.